Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope everybody's doing good out there in Twitter world. Let me get this on real quick. My light quit working on me. I'm trying to get it back. There we go. It's a struggle bus up here sometimes. It didn't want to work before the stream. Let's tweet out what we're doing real quick, shall we? Bam, there we go. Glad to see everyone here with us. Welcome back to not Crypto Before Dark, but Crypto After Dark. Hope everyone had a great Thursday. I was over here chilling the whole time, watching the charts. I got really busy this afternoon. Super frustrating, but nonetheless, glad to see you here. I'm glad that we're here together to do this as a team. If you haven't done so, please go over there and hit the like button. It costs zip zero nada to do the like button. It's free. While you're there, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. We grow closer to 10,000. Can you believe that, everyone? 10,000 people. We grow a little closer to it every single time we go on a live stream. I love it. When we hit 10,000, I got some cool stuff to give away. Not going to tell you what it is, but I got some cool stuff to get away. Let's hurry up and get there. So, the thumbnail is the exact same picture from last live stream. Only it says we should have walked softer. Well, what happened? Well, yesterday when we did our normal 2 o'clock in the afternoon, East Coast time, our normal live stream, kind of saw the death cross coming on the weekly chart there. Sure enough, what's happened? Well, it's starting to play out. It looks as though we're getting our cross probably on Sunday for sure. And in that meantime, we saw some pullbacks. We're going to talk about those pullbacks and how far we think they can go, along with some other scenarios tonight. But first, let's go say hey to everyone, shall we? And we shall. All right. What's up, Mullet? Good to see you, bro. Pigs get slaughtered. Frogs get tea. What's up, King of Light? Good to see you, brother. Hope you and Rich are doing good. Pulled pork sandwiches with a side of frog legs. Yes, please. That's pretty good, Jenna Monroe. What's up, Frank? Good to see you. JH. Osiris. What's up, brother? Dynamis. Mateo. Rob McDonald. Crew Jones. Lunatic Prophet. Cycling Cotton. Big Tex. What's up, Big Tex? JD Crypto. Don. Ronan. What's up, Ronan? Good to see you. Mountain Man. Educated Dummy. Good to see you. Brother Bill. Good to see you. Poochie. What's up, Poochie? Terry Brennan. Rope-a-dope. Daniel Kuntz. Good to see you. Frumpo. What's up, Frumpo? Good to see you, brother. Who else? Ashley. What's good, Ashley? Hope you had a great Thursday. Love when the ladies come on here and hang out. Just don't have a whole bunch of you guys that actually come on here and hang out. And I love the fact that some of you do show up. So, what's up, Russell Thompson? Good to see you. So, I've got the Bitcoin chart pulled up here for a reason, all right? Note that we broke this trend line. And as soon as we broke this trend line, more up. And every single time I thought we were going to get a pullback, we got more green. Then we had a little bit of red come in, right? We had a little bit of red come in right here. And I thought, oh gosh, that's it for sure. This is the reason what I've been waiting for right here. This is it. And then more green come after that. And then even though we got a terrible red candle right here, it continued to hang out over the 8 EMA. The green line, as you see right there, is the 8 exponential moving average. It's one of our buy signals that we have. Still hanging out over top of it means, hey man, we're not selling yet. We're not bailing. And then our 21 EMA is kind of our fail safe here. Whenever we get 2 candles closed below the 21 EMA, well, that tends to mean time to sell, time to scale out. And that's exactly what's happened here. Luckily, I had a little bit quicker trigger than that. I bailed before it got really bad. I went ahead and reduced I kind of did reduce every position of any significance in my portfolio. Yesterday I did that, bailed out of some of these spots, knowing good and well that a trend line test here was exactly what the doctor ordered. As you see, we're not quite there on the trend line. Really just depends on where you draw the line, right? I've gotten a really, really tight line right here, and I can come back and kind of show you here. Excuse me. I can kind of show you here that I've got it pretty darn close to exactly right. Okay. Just got points of contact here, and then you see how we kind of broke it here. Well, we're back testing it, sitting on top. Talked a lot about this before, but whenever you have trend lines that break, as you see, 80+% of the time, you come back and retest that trend line before you make any significant moves up. It's exactly what we finally have happening after waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for it to happen. I've got a couple yellow boxes drawn here. Why do I have these yellow boxes drawn here? Well, I shall show you. Number one, the first box is drawn right here at the 200 exponential moving average. Why did I do that? Well, excuse me. Let me get something to drink real quick. Throat itching. There we go. So, why did I draw that yellow box there on the red 200 moving average? It's important to understand that that 200 moving average is kind of like a big, strong magnet that we see all the time on charts where price will move away from it, but will eventually come back to it. It's exactly what happened here. While it broke through the 200 moving average and never retested, things need to typically retest. It moved violently right on past it. It seems to be having a moment of realization, having a moment of chill, where it's coming back here and thinking about coming down there. I'll show you more about that in a moment. I have another box drawn up higher. Why did I draw that box there? Well, if I go a little tighter here and I just use this low and this high, what I can get from that as a separate fib set, it's very, very tight, very small, but a separate fib set nonetheless. And as you see, I've kind of got part of the golden pocket drawn right here, as well as the low at this point right here, kind of as a support. And that draw, if I had them put a box right there, that's why I kind of did a box. If you kind of draw that out right there, you'll notice that that kind of sits right on top of support, right between the golden pocket and Sniper's Alley, which also happens to be right on the top of that trend line. Hence why I picked the spot I picked. Now, I can add in some more things like pivot points. Pivot line, 21,194. And this is the USDT chart, Bitcoin USDT. Now I'm going to bounce around between a few different ones here and show you that there's a little bit of difference from one chart to the next. All right, this is Bitcoin futures, CME chart. As you see here, this thing broke the 200 earlier. And now look, it's jumped back under the 200 and is actually closed below it at the moment. Not great. Interestingly enough, seems to be failing the 200 moving average. Now, if I pull this back a little farther here, if I come from this low, which is where we started this run from, all the way back, first of the year, all the way up to this high, which is where we are now. Move some of this stuff out of the way. You see I got the 50 fib highlighted at 19,820. Well, why do I have that area highlighted? Number one, that's the 50 Fibonacci line. Number two, if I add some more stuff in here, you'll see that was the previous R3 level. The previous R3 level that broke and never tested. All right. On top of that, if you look closely here, you'll see from this wick to this point, there's a gap in the chart. This only happens on CME charts. What's the significance to that? Well, these gaps close over 80% of the time. And we have a gap here. This is the closest Fibonacci line to that said gap. Said gap runs to about $20,000. On top of that, if we were to stay above this trend line, and the next most important Fibonacci line that we come to above this trend line would be the 50 fib. That also stops around mid-March. So around mid-March or so here. Now, the more data I get, the better I'll know. But around mid-March or so, looks to be the point where this move will be over and we would get either a violent move down or we would level out and kind of go back up and sideways. Again, this is not a exact science here. I don't like speculating, but this is the kind of conclusions that I come to when I see the charts the way they are. If I pull up the moving averages here, like I showed you a moment ago, looks different because the 200 moving average is way up here and the 50 moving average is way down here. You do not have a golden cross on the Bitcoin CME chart. You do have it on the tether chart. And again, that's because the Bitcoin CME chart doesn't run on the weekends, only runs on business hours. So, interestingly enough, the 50 moving average right here is kind of angling toward 20,000, which happens to be where this box is, what happens to be where the CME gap is, happens to be where previous support kind of is. All right, so that's kind of lead me in that direction that might be the next place of interest, okay? Just might be the next place of interest. I kind of for sure expect 20,000. So we'll see what happens, but that's the feeling that, not even the feeling, that's kind of just where the numbers point me. Some more of you guys came in. I need to say hey real quick. The Inferno Rain, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Quigs, what's up, Quigs? Good to see you. Everford, what's up? Papa Nick Fresh, what's up? Anon, simple moving average. Yeah, I'm sorry. What? 200 SMA, yes, SMA. I just say MA because it is a simple moving average, like when Mullet said right there. The only ones you'll see me use are simple moving averages. That's the 50, the 100, and the 200. That's yellow, blue, and red. And then exponential moving averages. Exponential moving averages will be in green and purple. Why do I do them in green and purple? Well, a couple reasons. Number one, it's our first quick little instant, hey, looky there, buy signal. That's the green, 8 EMA. 21 EMA, I have purple for a reason. Why is it purple? Well, that's my ex-wife's favorite color. And I just don't like the color purple. So that line kind of tells me, time to walk away. Okay, so use the numbers. I'm sorry, use the colors that work best for you. These are the ones that work best for me. Also happens to be the way I learned. So I'm going to keep using the way I have them because that's what works best for me. So there's some Bitcoin analysis for you. Finally, we're pointing back toward 20,000. We're working on making a higher low. Real quick, what's a higher low? Well, we do a little analyzation. We see a high and a low and a high and a low and a lower high and kind of a higher low and a lower high and a lower low and a lower high and a higher low. Excellent. Higher high. So now I need to see a higher low in here somewhere. And let's set that bait really, really good for an uptrend down here. So we can have ourselves a full-fledged move up the rest of the spring and the summer. How would I think all this changes? Well, we dip back below this trend line really far and we start playing around with this level down here, which is 17,005. We start playing around with 17,005. That changes things for me. 17,005 would open up a whole nother can of worms because that's falling back up under the trend line, which would force us to then break 20,000 again, which it might have seemed like it was easy last time, but please understand, it was a fight over here to get over 20,000, right? Anything below that, it could get dicey. We'll see, one step at a time. All right. Yeah, I'm going to look at ETH in a moment. So that's my Bitcoin analysis. Now let's go over to the total market cap. Should have been all over this and I missed some of it. So that's on me. However, I ain't going to miss no more. All right, let me remove this for a moment. Very simply first, clear-cut trend line. Clear-cut, we did not break said trend line. See that there? We did not break it. All we did was test the bottom of it damn near perfectly. Now, if that's the case, and this is the bullshit it's going to do, it's a no-go yet, everybody. It's a no-go. Why? You simply have not breached the trend line. All you did was test it. Now we're going to get some sort of run back to support over here. Where are our support lines? Well, we have one right around in here. We have one right around in here. Somewhere down in here is going to be our stopping point. How can we hone in on that stopping point? Well, we can pull a fib on it. We can get a Fibonacci retracement set here, and it could kind of lead us down the right path. So we'll grab from the bottom, and we'll pull up to the top. Now, I'm not exactly sure where I need to pull from here just yet, because this is very, very tight. It was a very sharp move. And honestly, more down and sideways now makes sense. Why do I say that? Because even though we may not have our trend line drawn correctly, okay, maybe this trend line should run this way. And I can show you what I mean. Maybe the trend line should be doing that, right? It's very, very tight though. So I'm going to move it out of the way here just for the example. Nonetheless, we have broken and are currently under 236. What does this mean? Well, in a Fibonacci retracement set, the first zone that you need to break through to kind of prove that that set holds water is the 236 fib. That's the first line you need to see get breached. And as you see, very clearly got breached here. Now, what's next? Well, since we failed this zone, that zone is no longer valid, and now we're down to this zone. I expect either we break back over into this upper zone, which doesn't appear to be the first choice now, or we come down here to the bottom of the next zone at $928 billion. Right now we're sitting at $969 billion. From there, what's the next possibility? Well, 382 is not a particularly strong Fibonacci number. If we fail 382, we're down to the next zone, 890 billion. You guys are starting to see how the dominoes fall here. This fib holds a little bit more water. All right. It's where Bitcoin bounced from to create this move up. There was a 50 Fibonacci line down here on the big fib set, which I can show you in a moment also. We haven't failed that yet. So, targets, 928 billion. 890 billion. And honestly, if things get bad, down here becomes more of a target. All this down here becomes a target because this is where big support is, just like this is support right here. You have two separate support zones now that should prop the price up, at least through the summer. One thing at a time. Nonetheless, we have a clear-cut sign that likely more down is ahead. This is total market cap. Do not get it twisted, folks. All these numbers matter. And now, what I missed, if we step it back here and put it on the weekly, this green line is just a reference line for me. You guys can avoid it. I'm just using it for reference to keep my mind straight. If I pull the big fib from the very tip top all the way to the bottom down here, okay, and I match my trend line with that white trend line that we have there, look what happened at 236. This would be trying to measure for an uptrend, okay? In order for that trend to be valid, we need to break this 236 fib. Guess what we have not broken yet? This 236 fib. In fact, we just got hella rejection, just like we got back here and back here, and did not get right here, right? It's battling this zone. This has become a pretty strong point of contention. If we do not break through this line and we continue playing these games that it's playing right now, then we threaten to come back to 727 billion. I don't know that for sure. I'm just giving you the data that I have. All right. On the other hand here, you see that we are trying to hold the 200 moving average, which is that red line right there, that red 200 simple moving average. It's trying its best to cling on to that. Furthermore, 8 and 21 EMA on the weekly have crossed upward, and you're above both of them, and you're trying to stay above the 200 moving average. One would think this thing tries to cling to this. Now, it looks likely to test this crossing right here, which is roughly 937 billion, 929 billion. If you remember a couple minutes ago, I said 928 billion was an interesting point for me, especially for total market cap on the daily chart, because that level reaches about 382 on the downward move. Well, here's the perfect reason why I said that. It appears as though it wants to roll back that way and head to that level. Now, that would be failing the 200 moving average, wouldn't it? That would not be great for the home team. Going to be straight with you. Total market cap is not having this golden cross yet, like Bitcoin did. And if you don't understand what I'm saying there, here's Bitcoin. Similarly, I talked about this last live stream, 5,200 downward cross is called a death cross. Okay? This didn't happen on total market cap yet. It only happened on Bitcoin. Did it happen on Ethereum? Well, let's look up the Ethereum chart and see. Nope. Look at there. You have way up here is where the 50 moving average is. Way down here is where the 200 moving average is. Country mile apart from each other. Interesting, isn't it? Now, I'm going to pull these off for a moment. It's clear that we're over the 200 moving average, okay? I just want to get that out there real quick. We'll take those off. Now we can kind of see the price action more for what it is here. All right, we had a pretty darn sharp downtrend right here. It took a couple tries, but it finally broke. And now here we are leaning back toward coming down to that yellow line to retest. If you take a step back and you look at the big picture here, touch, touch, and touch. No breaks yet. It almost looks as though Ethereum and total market cap are kind of lock in step here. And they kind of are. Furthermore, I've yet to see this big wedge break. You clearly have a short-term uptrend here, and you clearly have a monster downtrend here. A third test of this white line would make good common sense. That would be 3 touches on the uptrend line, which would be a full validation of that line, and that could potentially lead us into the summer. We shall see. I can't guarantee you this. I only play the ball as it lies. You guys know I don't like bullshitting. I don't like speculating. I just like to keep it real and use the data that I've got to get the better answers. All right. So we pull the fib on this one. It's very similar to Bitcoin. As you see, I'm not exactly sure if I got the perfect spot on these fibs. It's a very sharp and aggressive move up. So, I mean, I kind of get mid-March again over here. That makes sense. If this thing was to go down and sideways for the entire month of February, it would make sense on the count of we haven't had a red month yet in 2023. This is only the second month. January was a massive green candle for almost every single crypto. Not all of them, but almost every single crypto. Big, huge green candles. So, one step at a time, all right? The levels that I reach here that I see that I think may be possible, 1487, 1423, and if it reaches really wild and wants to go as far as it can, that leaves you to about 1200 or so. ETH at 1200 will definitely be a point where I can't bat an eyelash anymore. I've got to get in. Don't know that that's for sure going to happen though, okay? I'm just kind of saying that's where the fibs line up. There's a ton of shit in the way of progress before then. The 50 fib at 1423 has the 200 moving average and the 50 moving average, which just had a golden cross. Both of those will provide support. It won't break through that simply, okay? It won't break through that simply. So, 1423 will be my first absolutely, I got to take a chance level. If it fails that, I'm definitely going to take a chance down here. Kind of highly doubt that it gets down that far, though. So, again, one step at a time. All this is leading me to think that we have a pretty gnarly back end of 2023. In case you aren't aware, the year before halving, every single cycle, we get a pretty gnarly pullback right before halvening. All right, halvening is basically a month from now, and then add 1 year. That's when Bitcoin halvening will take place. There'll be a supply demand event. Essentially, there'll be less Bitcoin to be mined, or it doesn't get mined as fast, meaning what's out there becomes more valuable. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. All right, that will pretty much move the tide up for the entire sea of crypto, and everything will be candy and nuts again for a little while. All right, then there'll be bad actors come along in the space who want to wreck everything. There'll be plenty of scammers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We'll do our, on the microphone. We'll do our best to make sure we stay out of as much of that shit as possible. We also want to make optimal gains here. So, on your team, I'm going to try to help you do that the best that I can. So, there's my monologue. 30 minutes. Jesus Christ, that took forever. Also, I'm pretty damn low on energy. I just haven't felt great for the last couple of days. I cooked today, so that was good. I cooked and made steaks and bratwurst, and they were friggin' amazing. But I'm gonna tell you what, that put me in a food coma. Shit was fire. I listen. I had both grills fired up today. I had the Kamado going and the pellet smoker going. Dude, it was so good. I had to change clothes and take another shower, but this shit was so good. If you haven't done so, real quick, go hit like button. 70 people on here. 41 people have hit like. 30 more if you could. This will move us up, all right? People will come watching. More people will see. More people who see, the more people we can help. All right. You guys have probably got stuff over here you want to talk about. So, job is getting in my way of TA and streaming. I hear you, Danny Deep Pockets. Edwin, do you have any video of how to do that fib that you think is really good for beginners? Why, sir? Yes, I do. Close your eyes for a second. The screen's about to get bright. 3, 2, 1. All right, so I'm going to share this here for you. This is the start of fib lines. Fib lines here. I hit copy. And I'll paste it right here. Bam. Now you have a free Fibonacci video that you can watch to learn how to use this. There's 3 videos in the sequence here. You can watch all 3 of them. All 3 of them go a little deeper. All right. So they're free. Anyone can learn how to do what I do. Okay. It's just basic mathematical support resistance lines. That's what Fibonacci retracement is. All right. Every time you hit a like, a degen gets rehabilitated. Bro, exactly. That's a great way of putting it, Dean. Can you look at Microsoft? Why, sir, yes. We can look at Microsoft. Real quick, I said I would do this. So, I've been on the hunt for interesting charts that I thought could have a lot of upside. I don't like to shill anything, right? So I'm not going to shill this. However, I want you to see the chart here and see the gains and kind of try your best to avoid the laughable name. All right. This is Wombat. Yes, Wombat. And I know that sounds ridiculous. I know it sounds ridiculous. However, ton of gains in this chart right here. And the ecosystem seems real for those of you whom care about fundamentals. They work with a company named Wax, who are on Polygon Network and Ethereum. You can make NFTs through them. I've talked to 2 different people who have made NFTs through them. They work very well. The community has a lot of people in the Discord. Don't seem to be a bunch of patsies and shills. Seem like normal people to me. This thing launched in a horrible time. A horrible time. All right? Launching in the middle of the bear market is a terrible idea. Ask Algorand, CRV, and everything that launched in. However, I know every single one of those coins that launched back in 2019 did very well in the bull market. So I'm expecting good upside from this one. Now, this is available on KuCoin as well as many other exchanges. As you can see, I bought $100 worth there near the bottom. For me, this is a very small position. I'm not being stupid and doing crazy money in this, but I do think there's good gains available. And we do have a short-term uptrend right here, okay? So, long as that holds, we're good. Not freaking out about it. I like to find these charts that have a ton of percent gain and a ton of good looks to come back later and try my best to find these because they were really, really, really big hitters last time. I made a full-on list before. I've got a full-on list now, okay? I've got a ton of them on my chart over here of ones that I think will do well, and I've marked them out, and I'm fully prepared. Some other ones real quick. I mentioned wax. Here is the wax chart. It's WAXP, WAXP USDT. This is available on KuCoin as well. Reason I bought this one, look, touch, 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 break. It has broken the trend. As it has broken the trend, it has created a short-term uptrend. I don't know why I didn't mark that I bought this one. I bought it. $100, same thing, right? Didn't buy much. But I know there's a ton of gains in this. We can pull this fib here. We can see that summer targets roughly 20 cents ish. We have support. Some resistance up here around 29 cents, 30 cents. This may not happen in the summer. This may happen in the bull market. Either way, if we get back up to these numbers, that puts us at 172%, 456%, or 700%. Pretty darn good gains for something that you don't got to put a ton of risk in. Kind of a flyer that I like to take. We call these shotgun shitters. Whether it is or is not a shitcoin is beyond the point to me. I only care about the gains. I only care about the gains. All right, so there's another one. This one's Navi. This one is use to earn. It's a GPS navigational something another. It had a hell of a run so far, right? It just launched in November. So it launched kind of at the bottom of the market here. It has rebounded very, very nicely. And as you see, just recently started peeking its head underneath the trend line here. So if this is the case, it appears that we've got some sort of downtrend here going now. So I haven't bought this yet, but I do plan on it. Coins that have launched recently will probably do very, very well in the bull market. This one has recently launched. I'll be buying this whenever it shows me a buy signal, but not yet. Okay. You guys know I don't take any coins for like pre-launches or whitelists or none of that shit. I'm being 100% straight up on this stuff. I don't want anything to do with any of that shit. I've been asked to join many, many, many of them. I almost took the bait on one. Didn't do it. I stopped myself and said, nope, not going to do it. I'm not going to be those people. So I haven't bought any of this. I'm happy to tell anybody if I do. When I do, I'll tell you. HAI USDT. This is Hacking. Hacking is an audit company. Before you say anything, I don't give a shit. I'm just here for the gains, okay? Just here for the gains. The fibs have my trend line kind of marked out here. As you see, it respected 236 very well. It broke it. It's gone all the way up to 382 and failed now. And it looks like it's heading back for 236. Some very big, strong sell pressure right here. It's having a hard time, as you see. Doesn't really want to push through that. It is still maintaining that uptrend. Can't knock that yet. If it breaks this and heads back to 236, maybe a point where I look to buy because there is some good, strong support right here. You see that? We'll see, one step at a time. I do plan on putting a little bit in this when the time comes. Other than that, it's every coin that I've already told everyone I've bought or sold. Nothing particularly screams at me and says, oh my God, Jesus, you have to buy this right now. Here's a shitter that I bought $100 worth. Mars 4, MARS 4. I don't know and I don't care. What I do know is it came off the bottom very, very strong. It broke its downtrend and has bounced on the top of the trend line now. That's what I can tell. Since it's done this, it has a chance to continue moving up, breaking this 236 fib and potentially getting back up here to my target at around 0.0031. I think that's fully possible, or 0.003 flat, somewhere around in here. You do have some resistance right here for it to push through, but not very much, okay? Next resistance is way up here. Excuse me. Next resistance is way up here in a spot where I'm not exactly sure it'll ever make it to. We'll see. Again, this one launched in the bear market. Never launch in a bear market. Bad idea. That's what you get. You would think marketing majors would know this kind of stuff, but, you know, what do I know? I only see marketing majors pushing NFT hedge funds like crazy, and then those guys being responsible for managing your money. Boy, that sounds like a disaster. Glad I'm not involved in any of those. Let's see. What are you guys asking me to look at? CRV. Yes, I can look at that. Mina. I'm low on energy, man. Yeah, see what Mullet just said. HII's MAs look great. All of them have crossed and turned north. This is what he's talking about. They're starting to cross and turn north. It's stuck under the 200 though, Mullet. That's what I didn't want to see. I wanted to see it break the 200. Matic. All right, let's go look at Microsoft first. Effing scored on some shitters last time. That's what Frank said. Damn right we did. We had a home run on some of these shitters last time. And I'm going to do it again. Waves. Got you, Danny Deep Pockets. All right, let's start with Microsoft because that was the first one on the sheet that someone asked about. Let's go to top assets. Microsoft. All right. I thought it was going to break here after yesterday. It opened above trend and then snuck back under. And then yesterday, big punch in the dick, pushed it back under this red trend line right here. Still has yet to close above that red trend line, which would signify go for Microsoft, like a full-on, hey, ready to rock and roll go. Keeps rejecting it. We still have plenty of bullish convergence here, or bullish convergence. Nothing screaming yet that you must absolute stop. All the moving averages are bunching up, about to turn north. That's what Mullet likes to see. He likes to see all these moving averages turn north, like they're doing, slowly, because moving averages on stocks and equities will go very, very slow. But we have broken over that 200 moving average, which is right there, as you see. That's good. Let's see if we can hold that 200, because if we can hold that 200 moving average, you'll see Microsoft do really well over the next couple quarters. It's not a sell signal yet, but it's not a oh boy, here we go signal yet either. That's right there on that edge. All right, CRV. Damn CRV, man. Every time I think it's done, the bitch just pops back up and gives some more juice in her, which is crazy. All right, similar situation as Microsoft with the moving averages here. They're all lined up, or almost lined up. They're starting to flatten. All right, 200, 50, 100. They're a little bit out of order, but you're seeing 2 out of 3 are flat, and your 50 is approaching the 200 for a golden cross, but that hasn't happened just yet. It fell so far so fast, it's had a really hard time rebounding. All right, you do have a bit of a cup and handle playing out here. Right there, you see that? There'll be our cup, form the handle, and let's ride. I'm here to buy the handle. It hasn't happened yet, okay? That support is going to be way down here somewhere. So you're going to have cup, handle, and go. That's what we want to see for a cup and handle formation, okay? That, again, would be mid-March. That looks like mid-March, according to the chart there. Now, I thought this trend line was going to be broken. It didn't break. In fact, it fell the other direction, so this trend line is kind of null and void here. What we do see is this is one of the steepest runners that we had. Look at all of the green candles in a row. It just refused to fail. So I never bought in on this. I stayed out the entire time. Kind of a puss move, I know. But I was trying to play it safe. I really was. Trying to be careful. If that's the right move that puts us out toward mid-March, I mean, it's tough, but we'll see. Let's pull a fib on this. Just depends how perfectly we do our... mid-March is where it would end again, something like mid-March. It is under 236, so I kind of expect this to come down toward 87 cents. Do we have support there? It's got to break the 200 first. This one might take a bit to do what it's got to do. Okay, it might have slowed down and finally yeet its last haul for a little while. It might take a little bit to hit the skates here and slow down some, which is okay. Not the end of the world. It had a really, really good move. Where do you find these new coins to use your screen for such and decide where are worth a closer look? Yeah, Don, we spend a lot of time looking at this stuff over in our Discord, all right? If you haven't done so, 786unlimited.com has our Discord and all 3 ways to get in on our subscription service. You don't have to if you don't want to, but that's where we do our awesome work. We have guys 24/7 around the globe working on charts constantly, okay? There's always someone in there talking. Nearly every hour of the day, someone is up and someone is charting. All of the information that we have on this live stream comes from there first. All of my trades are posted there. My entire portfolio is posted there. Everything that I do is posted there. Plus, you get 100% access to me all the time. Perhaps you ever thought, man, I'd like to talk to that guy. I talk to everybody in the Discord who talks to me all day long. It's my job to talk to you guys. 786unlimited.com. Also in the description of the video down below if you don't want to go to the website. There's 3 different ways to access our Discord. All right. Plus, general membership is free if you don't want to pay for anything. However, you're missing out if you don't sign up. It's also a free month. What's not to try? It's free for a month. I mean, come on. You can't give stuff away these days because when you give stuff away, people think that the perception of value is 0. No value there. It was free. So you have to have some sort of perception of value. All right, that was CRV. Let's do Mina. All right, this is on Coinbase. All right, first thing I see right off the bat jumps out the screen at me here is we're still in an uptrend here that hasn't failed yet. While we may be failing some other things, you are under the 8 and 21 EMA. You haven't quite failed the uptrend yet here. And look at all these moving averages converging together, forming a ball of support. So if this thing does break this white line and come down here and sit on top of these moving averages, that's actually a good thing. That shows me good support. There you can go. You see those moving averages bunching up together right there. That's good. Shows you price action. You're either going to get more of this up on top of this trend line, or you're going to come down here and fail this trend line and sit on top of these moving averages. Neither is bad. Now, where would be a good point to enter? Tough call here, but I would put it on top of these. If it was me and it was my money, that's where I would put it, right in here. I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice, but my money would be there. I haven't bought this and I probably won't. I've got a ton of other things I've bought and a ton of other charts. Let's see how much gains is in this here. It's already moved off the bottom pretty aggressively. And this one launched in the bear market too. Terrible timing to launch something. But I don't care how much I say this, developers will not listen to someone like me who shows them data. They think they have to have people to get their answers from, and people only ever let me down. Maybe I'm just a cold heart because of that, but I don't have very much faith in people. Just the way I am. So I would hang in there on this one until you see a rougher failure. If it was my money. Matic continues to trug along here without failing. All right. We've breached the 50 fib, sitting right under 618 right now. As you can see, we're starting to run into the numbers on our fibs over here. So this should be the end of the set, yet still trending up. Hasn't failed yet. You're still over the 821 EMA. Hasn't failed yet. Bounced right off that 200 moving average. Keeps on going. What else can I say? Matic has performed extremely well. And, not to mention, had a very short bear market. It came down and ripped hard downward, but then bounced back up very strong and managed to maintain this line the entire time when everything else suffered. Matic just kind of went sideways, which was pretty darn impressive. All right. Only a few of them did this. Matic, Morpheus Network, BNB, and some others did this move right here. Just dead sideways with a move up. Showed head and shoulders right here. Yeah, shoulder, head, shoulder. That would be a bearish pattern, and then broke right up north. Quite impressive, and is still not a sell signal, which is incredible. Tail. Oh. There we go. All right. Similar situation for tail. While you do have some sell pressure here and downward pressure with an engulfing candles right here. Not great. Not really engulfing, more so you had a bit of a hanging man here with a big solid red candle coming after that. Either way is sell pressure. Let's pull up some stuff here for you. 821 EMA, you're right in the wait a minute zone right now. More so than anything, you're still above this trend line. Right, till this trend line fails. Get another drink of water. Till that trend line fails, can't get out, right? Don't panic, don't freak out until it fails. You can skim some profits, but I mean, it's in a good spot to even think about buying down here somewhere. It bounces off this trend line right here. I'm looking to buy. I'm not looking to sell. I want to sell up here somewhere. Okay? You buy the bottoms, you sell the tops. Very simple. Nothing more to report for Tailcoin here until it fails or moves. It's in a spot right now where it's just sit and wait. Waves from Danny Deep Pockets himself. All right. Look at here. Waves had a rough time. Had a really, really awesome March, but then really got punished since then. It looks as though we rode this downtrend pretty square. It has never tested it after it broke right here. It looks like we're also failing the 8 and 21 EMA. Yeah, it's definitely not a buy signal. Yeah, this is working its way into being a sell, not a buy. I would maybe buy somewhere on this trend line over here. We can pull a fib on this one. This one's pretty darn clear here. That's pretty darn clear that that's the correct fib set for that. All right, so that leads us to 382, which is about 218. 196 where the 50 fib is, and potentially all the way down here at 177 to get us all the way down to what could be a double bottom. So it never hit the 200 moving average. Many of these didn't hit the 200 moving average. Another one that didn't hit the 200 moving average would be CRO, which incredibly disappointed me, man. Just like so disappointing. I had high hopes for CRO. And as you see here, I scaled out already, folks. Broke this little short-term trend, broke this other uptrend, failed 8, failed 21 EMA. I expect more down now. I expect more down to at least support over here somewhere. Nothing more I can do until then. But the good news is I get a better buy-in somewhere down here. Whether we get double bottoms or we get lower lows, whatever it is, I'll be buying as soon as, let's be hypothetical here, as soon as this trend line that forms, wherever it forms, whenever this breaks, you're going to see me do this on the live stream. I'll buy as soon as something sneaks over these trend lines over here. Perhaps it's over here, right? That's when I'm going to enter these. And I'm going to enter them and I'm going to ride them the hell up. Okay, that's my plan. Ride them until they die. It's very, very simple. You're not going to see me do some crazy, insane technical analysis on here, especially for trying to buy bottoms. Just get as close as you can and be happy with it. We have a chance to get closer on some of these. Let's see, Ocean. Yeah, I ain't done Ocean in a minute. Oh. A lot of you guys who don't watch very often come in here and you lose a little bit of faith in the system when you don't get the absolute bottom. And you have these moments where you start to think that you've missed and that you're never going to get that chance back. Bottom line is that's not true. There's always more chances to buy. So Ocean has outperformed a lot of the market. Look how gnarly of an uptrend line that is. This still hasn't failed. So it's still no reason to run with your tail tucked yet on Ocean. Now you may be slipping up here and I bet you got, oh, you're still sitting on the 8 EMA. It's still sitting on top of that 8 EMA right there. Did you see that? Still sitting there. Hasn't failed that yet. Until that fails, well, there's really no reason to run and hide. Trend line is right in line with the 21 EMA, the purple line. That's likely to be what gets tested next. But again, that's still not a sell signal. Ocean way out in front of the pack. Way out in front of the pack. Because it's way out in front of the pack, I can't jump in on a train that's already left the station. I shy away from these types of charts. I did because I held profits in UST. Ouch. Yeah. So we're going to try our best to weed out all the bad actors this time around. I don't know how successful we'll be. We did pretty darn well last time weeding out the bad actors. I feel like this time we'll be even better at it. We'll have to find out. But I have faith in the system. Wesley Kirk, I wonder what makes Matic more valuable than AVAX or FTM. It absolutely makes nothing more valuable than AVAX or FTM. Value is in the eye of the beholder. I don't really care about value. It doesn't matter to me. I'm trying to buy a point on the chart and sell a point on the chart. All that other crap is nonsense to me. I just want to make money on everything. Everyone here that's watching this, please understand, I don't have favorites and I don't care. I'm just here to buy and sell and make as much money as I can. If you're here for other reasons, then you're going to find out the hard way. You're going to lose a lot of money because of that. All right? It might feel good. Oh, I bought the best. What? How do you know, bro? You don't. You don't. You're just doing crypto Twitter analysis. That shit ain't nothing, bro. Going on YouTube and looking for analysis on whether the team is good or not. Fuck out of here, dude. Nobody on YouTube knows that shit, or they wouldn't be on YouTube. Okay, they'd be working for hedge funds or for the government or something. Y'all don't think about that even a little bit? That never dawned on anybody. You're only going to see me buy and sell here. Simple as that. And now that you mentioned it, let's pull up AVAX real quick. All right. So, AVAX, similar situation as what you just saw. CRO. You had a short-term uptrend. It just failed. It cracked. It fell back under the 236 fib. I didn't want to see that happen. I wanted to see everything continue up and run to the 382 and the 50 like you're seeing Ocean do there. This one didn't make it. It looks like CRV somewhat, right? So we can pull a fib on this. I can tell that we've got a pretty darn good look here. And we have an uptrend there. And it's still technically hanging on to that one. Hasn't failed yet. What levels do I give AVAX here? Well, I'd really like to see it come all the way back down here to $14, $12. Boy, that would be a blessing. I will buy the hell out of AVAX if we get back down here to these levels. Give me some semblance of a double bottom here, and we're rocking and rolling. This one lines out toward the end of February or March as well. We'll see. It may need to come out a little farther. The more data I get, the more accurate I can get on the numbers. When fibs run out of time, where do you draw the next one from? Low to high every time. So let's say this fib runs out of time and we start to see price run into these numbers. Then we're running out of time. It's time to draw a new fib. I went low to high on this one, so I'll go high to low on the next one, and then low to high on the next one, and then high to low on the one after that. Back and forth, all right? Either low to high or high to low. If you started low to high, the next one needs to be high to low. Very simple, all right? Rio Dimitri, I feel what you're saying. Good, bro, I'm glad. Wesley Kerr, yeah, I already asked that. So AVAX, there's my numbers on AVAX. That's what I kind of expect. A run to support would be awesome. That's around $13. Again, 14 to 12, blessing. Thank you very much. FTM performed much better than AVAX. You know, it did very well. It ran almost all the way up to the 50 fib. That was that red box that I had drawn right there. We hit that within 0.25%. So friggin' close. So friggin' close to the exact target where I thought it might go. Just got hung up. And then now, since then, it has breached this trend line. Since it's breached that trend line, it appears as though we can draw a fib. I'm not sure exactly where. Again, I'm trying to pull these from the first of the year. But as you're seeing, some of them just don't line out right. If I pull this from up here, you'll see that it's pretty darn accurate, but it's very small. It's very small. And this will run out today, meaning you may get some more rebound here before you get more down. I'm not certain that that's perfect. So in that case, if I pull back to the first of the year again, I'm going to sneeze now. Shoo, excuse me. That's a big sneeze. If I pull back to the first of the year now, and I pull this over like this, you'll see that these fibs run out first week or so of March. All right. We're well under the 236 fib. That's back to the beginning of the year, by the way. Well under the 236 fib, heading toward 382 at 41 cents. Can't hold that. 35 cents as a solid marker. Also happens to be some support right here around 40 cents. So it's likely that it gets held up there. May not fall much farther past that. We'll see one step at a time. If it can't hold those levels, 25 cents is a gift. I will take 25 cents as a gift, and I'll likely buy some there. Hey, can you check out the chart for man? Sure. Matrix AI. Yep. I remember Matrix AI. We rode this a little bit last bull market. All right. Thought about running a node on this, and I decided not to, and that was an excellent play not, because this thing had a horrible bear market. Wouldn't have made a damn dollar. Would have costed myself money on VPS fees and everything else. Triple touch on the trend line here, still hasn't failed. Probably flirting with the 821 EMA right now. Yep, looks a lot like one of those I did a moment ago. Was it tail or waves? No, it was one of these. One of those I did a moment ago. Flirting with the 8 EMA. Still not a sell signal. Close, but not a sell signal yet. Once it fails this 821 EMA, that would be a scale out for me, but that likely would stay above the trend line even then. So really you're looking for a trend line fail here to call yourself out and stop. This one performed extremely well as compared to most. That being said, this train left the station, and I'm not trying to jump on this train. Just not. Plenty of other trains. CL says, that particular token has the best team of fundamentals. Surely we can just buy them and be rich in 5 years from now. I see what you're doing. I'm not going to say their name either. Not going to do it. Yeah, Mullet, that's a joke. I'm not falling for it. I know what he's doing, bro. It's a trick. It's a trick. Gotcha, bitch. That Dave Chappelle gift that I share all the time. So, we did a shit ton of charts. It's already midnight. That went by super fast. Wow. So, thank you all for coming. 786unlimited.com. Description in the video below here has three different ways to join our Discord. You can join with crypto for $120 a year. That's $10 a month. $120 one-time payment. Gets you full year's access. Crypto payments, simple to do. You can pay. It's Coinbase Commerce. You can pick the crypto you want to pay with. Number two, you can choose to do monthly, which is $16 a month with 1 month for free. For free. And if you don't like us, you don't have to do it anymore. You can leave risk-free. Third option, you can do the yearly option for $144 a year, $12 a month. That's right. That's 25% off. 25% off. Plus, you get a free 30-minute consult with me so you can learn this stuff one-on-one if you're having a hard time with it. That option is below as well. Thank you all for being here. 2 quotes for you. Make the best of your todays, the worst of your tomorrows. That's from Jay-Z. I want you to marinate on that a little bit. The best of your todays, the worst of your tomorrows. Lastly, in the words of the late, great, Notorious B.I.G., y'all could have been anywhere in the world, man. You chose to be here with me. I appreciate that. Thank you all for coming. See y'all next week, Tuesday, 11 p.m. I'll be in the Discord till then. Y'all be good. Take care. Sky's the limit. Peace.